The other day, I got to sit down with Box Brown, the award-winning cartoonist, illustrator, and designer. He's known for popularizing documentary comics, and his book, Cannabis, The Illegalization of Weed in America, has become a top reference for the history of marijuana in America. And some people say his comic strip, Legalization Nation, which you should definitely be checking out, acts as the conscience of the true cannabis culture. We get into the latest Legalization Nation that talks about cannabis advertising and the billboards that specifically encourage people to cross state borders to buy their weed. And some of them are straight up illegal dispensaries advertising next to big multi-state operators. The loose marijuana advertising laws are actually kind of playing into patients' hands, where all levels of cannabis are competing for your attention on an equal footing. Let's check it out. Let's get into Legalization Nation. Tell me what that is, where that came from.
Yeah, it's my weekly comic strip that started kind of because I was following cannabis media and cannabis news and just feeling frustrated by the coverage. And, I'd read something and then be like, oh, it's not being discussed properly. They're leaving out so much.
Tell me about the latest rendition of Legalization Nation. We're talking about billboard advertising, right?
Yeah, so on I-95, when you drive through Philadelphia, there's a ton of billboards for cannabis shops. And it's all different ways. It's like all different markets. It's weird because, okay, so you have New Jersey's right over the bridge. It's like 10 minutes away. Right. And so a lot of the billboards are for weed stores in New Jersey. And they're specifically like, come to New Jersey to get your weed. And you can bring it back home, kind of, which is actually illegal. I mean, the whole thing's federally illegal, but like you're not supposed to be able to bring cannabis, even legally obtained cannabis, over state lines like that. But the billboards are telling people to do that basically. And then there's also a number of ads for unlicensed dispensaries, which to me is kind of awesome and brazen. That you have an unlicensed dispensary selling, products from wherever, not in the legal system in New Jersey at all, but still willing to put up multiple billboards across all over I-95 in Philly.
It seems like it's taking advantage of a ridiculous amount of non-communication right there. Like
yeah, the cops and I think it is awesome that to the people in the cars, all of these places are on equal footing. It shows the breadth of the cannabis market, which goes way beyond just like legal stores in New Jersey and legal stores in PA. You have to consider that the hemp dispensaries are literally competing with the medical dispensaries in PA, with the legal stores in New Jersey, with the unlicensed stores in New Jersey, and not to mention the entire illicit market, which is also in many ways benefiting from these billboards, because you're driving home, you see a billboard telling you to buy weed, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go buy weed from that store. You're going to go home maybe and call your dude to come deliver you some weed because you thought of weed because you saw this billboard.
That's very true.
So yeah. I think that a lot of people, even unlicensed, traditional market people benefit from these billboards.
So how do people find Legalization Nation? How do they find you? Where do we go to find that?
So you can go to boxbrown.com, but you can also read Legalization Nation every Tuesday on my Instagram. I'm also on Blue Sky and on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. You can also read it on my Patreon. You can get it a week early if you're a subscriber to the Patreon. And that helps me continue to make the comics.